Hey guys, it's your boy, Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another edition to the show. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. It should be over here to the side or whatnot, a little button down below. And this is a very direct channel. This is not where we got a bunch of video, images, and stuff like that. This is just me keeping it real and talking about shifting of the mindset. So today, we're going to talk about a particular subject that I had happened to me and people that I know that still deal with this. This is from moving from a scarcity to an abundance mindset. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'll tell you. We live in a world where people feel like there's lack of resources. The world does have limited resources, but the problem is a lot of people place limitations here, not where something's physical. Like I have one soda can. I can't make another soda can disappear just like that. I have to do something. In their mind, they're saying, well, dang, I can't get anything. I can't get nothing. And I used to be like that. And I would tell you this, my father broke that out of me very early. My whole mindset was that I'm too short. People will bully me, things like that. Before they even got inside my head, my dad introduced me to Muggsy Bogues. Used to play Charlotte Hornets, Golden State Warriors. Introduced him, 5'3", played in the NBA, smallest NBA player in history. And he was not just playing. I mean, he was starting. He was running the court amongst giants. And it wasn't of him saying, well, I'm not tall enough. I'm lacking height. He didn't let the height mess with him. It actually made him a threat because he was short, because basketball players are tall. We all know that. You bouncing the ball, you got to bend down. You got to get very low with Muggsy. Muggsy will take your ball. You women know, you just won't hear the ball no more. It won't come back to your hand. Like, where's the ball? He's already down court. And I took that mentality in my sports, in my career being in the Navy, and with my businesses. And I don't feel any sympathy. I don't feel sorry for people who sit here and paint a problem, because we got people who will live in fear. We have people who will live in fear and will sit here and tell you, hey, I have all these bad things happen to me. I have this happen every single day. They roll it right off their tongue, just like you drinking water in the morning. They will constantly tell you all these problems going on, and they want you to solve their problems for them, excuse me. And I would tell you this, you can give them advice, but you cannot program their mind. If they have a mindset of lack, that's something that they have to work on. They can't sit here and tell you they got all this going on and you tell them what to do. Some of them may come to you about money. That's the number one thing that I've countered being out here in Bahrain, because a lot of people make this assumption that the U.S. military makes way bunch of money, right? But they don't look at the other side of it. A bunch of military people have bills and other obligations. You have to think about, some of these guys out here have to take care of child support. You know, they have bills, car notes, house notes. That's why they out here. And folks don't look at that. They look at what I see everything on TV, and you got to stop looking at that. Not saying that they're living in scarcity. They are finding a way to win when it comes to other people outside, foreigners, right? And they're telling you that they got this going on, they got that going on. Can you give me some money? I look at it as, in a way, it's an insult, right? Because they're not looking at friendship. They're looking at you as a transaction. And going back on this, they feel like they can't do anything and they don't have to do anything. And I look at it also, if your life depended on, if someone put a gun to your head and say, if you don't do this, I'm going to this on you in 3 seconds, you will figure a way out. And we have to live like that. We have to live like it's urgent. Instead of us talking about living of lack of, we need to be focused on what we have abundance of, and we need to project that on what we want to have. We should imagine it inside our head as if it's already here. And people might be like, what? Yes. I was watching Jim Carrey talking about when he was in school and the teacher asked him what he wanted to have. He said, I want to get this bike. And he knew his dad didn't have the money and whatnot, but he didn't let that sit in his brain. Well, my dad don't have it, I guess I can't get it. He focused. He figured a way on how to get that, and it came to him, right? It came to him. It's just like if you want to get the perfect job, if you're trying to score a certain score in your test, if you're trying to have a certain amount of income coming every month, you're focusing on it. You're looking at ways on how to achieve that too. You're not just sitting here just praying, waiting for it to fall down. Prayer is part of the equation, but you are looking at how can I make this happen versus I can't do this. I can't afford it. I don't have this, I don't have that. No, you got to be like that. You have to be like that. Now, what stops you from doing that? You may be influenced by the environment, which everyone pretty much is. It's you that has to make the deciding factor if you're going to let that control how you think versus, hey, I'm in the military, right? I want to see the next 5 years go smooth. I made that a decision, right? I made that decision. This is where we're gonna go. Where you have other people, they're already losing day one. They complaining, they're crying, they whining. You're gonna have it every once in a while, but not every single day. Where they're just losing it. They're losing their mind. You got to get out of that mindset. You got to get away from what you see on TV because TV will make you go crazy. That's why I don't watch too much news. I have to control how I receive news. Because my parents, they used to watch the even news every day. Every day. If you didn't travel outside of Charlotte, you didn't travel, let alone outside of the country, everything's bad. Everything's bad. It's destruction. They're killing people here where I'm at. That was the first question my dad asked me. Are you safe over there? I said, Dad, I'm pretty safe. I don't have to worry about being pulled over. Well, I heard they're grabbing people and this and that. And he's looking at something that was associated in another country that was not associated in Bahrain. So you got to get away from the negative images. A lot of people are going to put a lot of stuff. That's why they call it television. Tell a lie on vision, right? They tell you a lie. You have to move away from that. If you're going to watch something as if you're already there. I used to watch a show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I used to watch it all the time. Don't know why. My dad didn't watch it. My mom didn't watch it. But I saw what those people had. And I say, that you can go there. We can go there. I wouldn't never let myself settle in my hometown where I saw a lot of my classmates. Not knocking them doing that. But I knew that there was something more for me to do in this world. And that's how I kept going. That's how I kept progressing, right? Same thing about vehicles. I seen Transformers when it came out, the first live action one. And I tell my boy, I'm getting that car. I didn't tell him how. I didn't say when. I told him I'm getting that car, and I did get the car. It was black though with a gray race stripe, but I still have that car. And I'm telling you guys, your mind is very powerful. It's powerful than one of the nuclear bombs in the world. If you set your mind right and you program it, because this does require programming, you can get there. One thing that I also do, I listen to beats when I go to sleep. The binaural beats, I have a face mask, I wear it, I have speakers in it, and I just let it play. And, I constantly let my mind be uplifted because we do live in a negative world. We do live where a lot of stuff goes on. This senseless makes no sense. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are on the street, things like that. And it's very hard to tell them, hey, man, just lift yourself up. This is what you got to do because they already zone out. You have a chance to be watching this. You have the determination to make a change in your life if you're serious about it. But you just can't sit around sitting there thinking, well, I just got to pray and that's all I got to do. You got to put your motion to action too. You got to build yourself up. It's just like when I make these videos as well. This ain't the only channel I'm doing. I'm doing other channels on YouTube as well. So it's like, how do you keep yourself from burning out? It's like, we got to find better ways. We're going to make this pop. We're going to make YouTube go. We're going to make all our products that we have on YouTube grow. It's like, okay, we're going to find ways. And that's why I kept saying, I said, we're going to find a way. We're going to find a way. We're going to find our way. And once you see what you want, hold it in your mind and lock it in. So if you have a visual goal where it's like, hey, I want to get a certain number by the time I get out, I want to have so much money in, and you know what your number is, you lock that in. You're not going to let that untap. Now, you might go over it way much or whatnot, so be it. And you got to go big too. That's another thing. You just don't be like, well, I want to get $50,000 before I get out. Okay, that ain't going to be hard right there. You ain't doing anything. Change. It should be challenging, because when you do these things, you are going to elevate yourself so high. You're going to have people that associate with you that may not even want to deal with you anymore because they're going to say you act different. That was the first thing that happened to me when I started to go through the transformation. I started grabbing the Bible, I started reading it. Wasn't going to church, but I was reading it or whatnot. People were like, well, why are you bringing the Bible to work? I wasn't sitting there preaching to anyone, just reading it to myself. And I didn't quite know either, but it gravitated to me. It uplifted me. And that's another thing too. You got to find something that's going to uplift you. To me, it was the Bible. I always read the Bible every day. Uplift me. It pushed me in the right direction. A lot of people didn't know what I was doing. A lot of people went away from me. They was like, you're acting funny. You don't want to party. You don't want to go out. You don't want to do any of these things that we do. Doing all this stuff that doesn't elevate. It just keeps you downward. And as that took place, I kept growing. I kept moving away from that. I didn't want to see that anymore. I didn't want to be a part of that anymore. And it's nothing to me anymore. And this is going to happen. I will warn you this. If you're not serious about this, if you're just going to treat it as a hobby versus a lifestyle, then you're wasting time. Or if you're willing to go through the pain, and pain is temporary, if you're willing to go through the pain, then go ahead and step through it. Go through it. Don't look back. Don't second guess yourself, because as a person who is living in abundance, you don't have time to be looking back. You don't have time to be getting yourself downgraded. If you're going this way, if you're trying to get to the sky, you can't go this way to go to the sky. You got to go up, right? You got to go up. You're going to have people who keep trying to pull you down. You're going to have situations who keep trying to pull you down. But you go through those disciplines. You go through your daily meditation, your prayer. If you go through your beats like I do. If you start reading positive affirmations like I do. If you start watching motivational videos that's going to uplift you and get you going, instead of watching the news where it has negativity most of the time, it's going to lift you. It's your lift on your plane to get you going. You don't want to have people tell you, oh, this is not possible. Because, again, those are the negative people. You let those people talk about doubt in your head, you're going to start doubting yourself. And you can't be around those folks. You may not be able to tell people your dream. You may not be able to tell people what you're trying to do because they're not going to understand you. And that's okay. Let your actions, let your results speak for you. Let that be the answer. So people are like, what you doing? What you do? Why don't you go out? And this is an example happening. Why don't you go out to the club anymore? Why don't you do this and that? I'm not saying you can't go to the club. I've been to the club, but I'm not a club head. And some people go every night. He's like, no, I'm just working on stuff. You don't got to sit there and tell them what you're doing. And then they get butthurt. Well, you acting all different. You acting like you better than us. Say, I'm not doing that, man. Y'all have fun and just taking care of stuff. If they truly your friends, they will respect that. If they're not, they're going to try to pry. They're going to try to discredit you. And then your eyes are going to be revealed just like it was revealed to me about who my friends were. So, guys, I hope that this helps you out. I hope that you understand that we are walking away from the lack of, the scarcity, to abundance. If you like this message, please share it with your friends and family. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, we're coming back with some new stuff. I don't want you to be missing out. Make sure you subscribe. I see you next time, and take care.